Far from Earth, beyond the orbit of Jupiter, a giant world dominates its realm with quiet authority. Saturn hangs in the darkness, massive and luminous, encircled by rings so vast and intricate that they defy intuition. From a distance, they appear serene, thin bands of light suspended in space, perfectly balanced around their planet. Yet these rings are not static ornaments. They are dynamic, restless systems of motion and collision. And hidden within their beauty lies a profound question. Could Saturn's rings, under the right conditions, give rise to new worlds? Saturn's rings are among the most iconic structures in the solar system, but they are also among the least understood. Stretching hundreds of thousands of kilometers across, yet only meters thick in many places, they form a flat, delicate disk composed of countless particles. These particles range in size from microscopic grains to chunks as large as mountains. Each one follows its own orbit, bound by Saturn's gravity, endlessly circling in silent procession. At first glance, the rings resemble the protoplanetary disks seen around young stars, vast, flattened structures of dust and ice where planets are born. This resemblance is not accidental. The same fundamental forces are at work: gravity, motion, and time. Yet despite their similarity, Saturn's rings have never formed a planet. To understand why, scientists must look deeper into their origin and their environment. The rings are composed primarily of water ice, reflecting sunlight with remarkable efficiency. This gives them their brilliant appearance, brighter than any other structure of comparable size in the solar system. Mixed within the ice are traces of rock and organic material, remnants of ancient processes that predate human history. But where did this material come from? For centuries, astronomers debated the origin of Saturn's rings. Early theories proposed that they formed alongside the planet itself, leftovers from Saturn's birth. Others suggested they were the remnants of a moon torn apart by gravity. Modern evidence increasingly supports the latter view. The rings may be the shattered remains of an icy moon or comet that ventured too close to Saturn long ago. This brings us to the Roche limit, a critical boundary around a planet. Within this distance, tidal forces become so strong that they prevent material from clumping together. Any object that crosses this threshold is stretched, fractured, and ultimately destroyed by gravity's uneven pull. Saturn's main rings lie almost entirely within this limit. It is a region where destruction is favored over creation. Within the Roche limit, particles can collide and stick briefly, but they cannot remain bound. Gravity tears growing clumps apart before they can stabilize. This is the fundamental reason Saturn's rings have not become a moon or a planet. They exist in a gravitational trap, close enough to Saturn to be held in orbit, but too close to allow lasting growth. And yet, the rings are not uniform. They are structured, sculpted by resonances with Saturn's moons. Gravitational interactions create gaps, waves, and sharp edges. Some regions are denser, others more diffuse. In these dense zones, particles collide frequently, exchanging energy and momentum. Over time, these collisions flatten the rings even further, maintaining their thin, disc-like shape. Embedded within the rings are moonlets, small, transient bodies that form and dissolve repeatedly. These objects may be tens or hundreds of meters across, briefly held together by their own gravity before being torn apart again. They are evidence that aggregation does occur, but only temporarily. The rings are constantly trying to build something, and constantly being prevented from succeeding. Beyond the main rings lies a different story. Outside the Roche limit, Saturn's moons orbit freely, able to grow and persist. Some of these moons may have formed from material similar to the rings long ago. In this sense, the rings may represent a frozen moment in planetary evolution, a disk that never quite crossed the threshold into creation. The age of Saturn's rings adds another layer of mystery. Data from the Cassini spacecraft suggests that the rings may be surprisingly young, perhaps only a few 100 million years old. If true, this implies they formed long after Saturn itself, possibly from the destruction of a large icy moon. Over time, micrometeoroids darken and pollute the ice, slowly eroding the rings and causing material to spiral inward toward the planet. This process means the rings are temporary on cosmic timescales. They are slowly disappearing, raining down onto Saturn's atmosphere in a phenomenon known as ring rain. What we see today may be a fleeting phase in the planet's history, a brief moment of extraordinary beauty. If Saturn's rings cannot form planets now, could they ever have done so in the past? Or could they in the future, if conditions change? The answer lies in distance and time. If ring material were pushed outward beyond the Roche limit, perhaps through gravitational interactions or long-term evolution, it could begin to clump permanently. Given enough time, these clumps could grow into moons, and in extreme cases, larger bodies. In fact, this process may already have happened elsewhere. The moons of Saturn, particularly the smaller icy ones, may be descendants of ancient ring material that escaped the planet's tidal grip. In this view, Saturn's rings are not failed planets, but raw material waiting for the right conditions. Studying Saturn's rings offers insight into planet formation on a broader scale. Protoplanetary disks around young stars operate under similar principles, but on vastly larger scales. There too, gravity competes with turbulence, collisions, and tidal forces. By observing the rings in exquisite detail, scientists gain a laboratory for understanding how matter organizes itself, or fails to, under gravity. The rings also challenge our sense of permanence. They look eternal, yet they are fragile. They are shaped by countless collisions, altered by moons, eroded by time. Every particle follows the same laws that govern stars and galaxies, yet together they form something uniquely delicate. Saturn itself looms beneath them, a reminder of gravity's dual role as creator and destroyer. The same force that binds planets together can tear moons apart. The same process that builds worlds can also prevent them from forming. In the end, Saturn's rings are not planets in waiting. They are something more subtle. They are a boundary condition, a place where creation nearly happens, but never quite completes. They show us that planet formation is not inevitable. It depends on balance, distance, and time. As we gaze upon Saturn's rings, we are witnessing a cosmic tension frozen in motion, a disk that resembles the birthplace of worlds, yet remains forever suspended between order and collapse. They are not failures of nature, but demonstrations of its precision. Saturn's rings remind us that the universe does not always choose growth. Sometimes it chooses equilibrium. Sometimes it preserves matter in a state of endless motion, circling a giant planet, never becoming more and never becoming less. And in that delicate balance, Saturn's rings reveal a deeper truth, that even in a universe built to create worlds, not every disk becomes a planet. Some remain as they are, beautiful, transient, and endlessly instructive, quietly teaching us how gravity shapes the cosmos.